10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ninja vanish!
What's up?
Hey.
Look who made it, Duke!
What's up, baby?
What's going on?
Oh, just painting.
Popped in here just as we were going live. You know what? Duke's here. So, you know how I'm going to start this geek chat off tonight? I'm going to show you some shit I picked up today. That Duke, you're going to love this shit.
Carol
Dixon.
You're going to fucking love this. So, first off, I picked up the concept version of C-3PO and R2.
Oh, yes.
Pick that up. A local toy shop of mine had all their Star Wars stuff. Let me make my screen bigger. And then we'll get into movies and TV shows. So, the concept version of R2-D2 and C-3PO. I picked up a probe droid from Power of the Force.
Oh, very nice, with exploding head.
Yep. I picked up, because I don't have one yet, to go with my Shadows of the Empire collection, the Swoop.
Swoop Trooper. Controversial. Like that version better than what Luke drives.
Oh, yeah. And then I picked this up a while back, but I got an A-Wing.
Ooh.
And then I picked up 2 troopers, because you got to have lots of troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Picked up a couple troopers, and I picked up a pilot Luke where you can actually remove his helmet, which was apparently a rarer one to get.
That is not what was available at the time. That is cool. That's rare.
Yeah.
With the helmet.
And then Han Solo and Carbonite.
One of my favorite figures, actually.
I love this thing.
Yeah. How much did you spend on each?
So the figures were $5 a piece.
Yes, I knew you. I was hoping you'd say $5.
The Swoop, the Probe Droid, and the concept art R2 and 3PO were $10 a piece, and then the A-Wing was $15.
Yeah, Power of the Force, $5 is awesome.
Oh, I know, I love them, and they had more. They only had 2 troopers, otherwise I would have just loaded up on troopers. But they had some more, and I might go back and pick some more up. I don't know. They had an Obi-Wan I don't have, and they did have the other version of Luke, which the other version of Luke you can just use as a pilot because he's got the helmet on. You know what I mean, all the time.
Oh,
and
yeah, you can use those. Yeah,
you just use them as a generic pilot. So they had a few of those. They had an Obi-Wan, and then they had Bespin Luke, and then separate they had the Yoda that comes with the backpack. I don't know why they didn't put those into one package, but they're separate.
Yeah,
you had to buy like Bespin Luke, and then you had to go buy Yoda that comes with the backpack to put on Bespin Luke. And I was almost going to get those, but I was buying so much stuff. I was like, maybe I'll come back. So
out of all 3 movies, where do the best figures come from? And for me, it's got to be Empire.
Yes, I think.
I don't know. Return of the Jedi, you got a lot of cool ones.
There's a lot of cool figures that go. I mean, let's be honest, because for Star Wars, not a lot of figures came out for the Star Wars line. They did do a bunch of ships though, which was cool for the Star Wars. The actual 78, there was quite a few ships out there.
Favorite ship then? Favorite ship toy?
As a kid, it was hands down is the Millennium Falcon.
Outlander.
The Outlander's fucking sweet. Well, you were a different generation, man. That's why.
Yeah.
Because for me, by the time Power of the Force 2 stuff came out, that was 92, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was 15 when that stuff came out.
You're getting out of it, yeah.
So, I mean, I did pick some of that stuff up because I've always kind of collected toys and stuff. But I didn't get into it the way you did. I mean, that was like prime age, yeah. That was the prime age for you.
Yeah.
To get into this stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, it had been, I had like Star Wars had basically not existed for at least 8 years by that point for me. Right. because I'd say like 85 was kind of the end of Star Wars in the 80s. Like they stopped selling toys.
Yeah.
I mean, you had droids and the Ewok stuff, but like
It's not the same.
nobody cared. And then it wasn't until like 92 when they came back with Power of the Force 2. So yeah, I didn't get into Power of the Force 2 the way you did. I mean, for you were into Power of the Force 2, I'm sure, the way I was into the original line stuff from 78 to 85. So I always had way more of that stuff, which is why I like buying this stuff, because I didn't have a lot of this stuff when I was a kid. So it's kind of new to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like getting the Power of the Force 2 stuff is freaking new.
That Han Solo in Carbonite, that rendition of Han Solo in Carbonite that you can snap the action figure on the back of it, just so you know. But that is the closest resemblance to anything I've ever seen in action figure form of Carbonite, of Han Solo in Carbonite. It's really good.
Yeah,
too.
well, I think that was that the first time they ever did him in Carbonite?
No, it came with Boba Fett.
Yeah,
there was a crappy version.
That plastic piece, but it didn't come with a Han Solo figure.
Correct. It's just a crappy version of Carbonite.
Yeah. But they had a couple of those, so I picked one of those up, and I'm gonna, I don't know why I went through and I was like, I want the one with the best package. I'm like, I don't know why I'm gonna rip them all open, but I did. So, but anyway, yeah, no, they're cool, man. I'd had I think I had picked up some of the Dark Empire stuff, and I picked up some of the Shadows of the Empire stuff back in the 90s when they came out, because I read those comics and I read that book.
Yeah.
So I was really into that stuff, and I think I that was really the only stuff I really went after.
Yeah.
With Power of the Force 2, I might have had a handful of other figures and stuff at the time. I don't really remember, to be honest. Because of how old I was, I was like 15. By the time the Shadows of the Empire stuff came out, I was probably 16. And so I wasn't really focusing on like mass collecting toy lines or anything like that at that point. But, it is what it is. What's up, Preston Garvey? Thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm called the probe droid. I bet you are. I bet you are. By the way, how's the microphone sound to everybody? I got the new microphone in. Just want to make sure it sounds good.
You are off. You sound good, but you are noticeably not as good. Just to let you know that.
Well, yeah, it's because I'm on a different computer with a different microphone.
Okay. So
instead of using my $300 setup on that computer, I'm using this $20 microphone.
Okay.
So it is going to be at least a little. How about now? Is this better? If I hold it right up to my fucking face?
Yes.
Which I'm not going to do. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. So
you got to eat your mic the entire time.
I'm just going to shove it in my mouth. But no, this is good enough. This is good enough. So for this computer,
just opened up the CT Toys KO or the SHV Arts.
Oh, I love that one. That dude, I've got him on my shelf. I picked him up. When did I pick him up? I think I picked him up last spring when he first went up.
I only had ordered it when I was ordering the Wolverine. Everybody's been getting.
Yeah.
But the only issue I've seen so far is the gritted teeth face. The paint's the skin tone's all jacked up. I just got to touch that up.
I don't even remember what mine looks like because I just left. I left the regular head on him, and I think I just shoved all the rest of it into like a fucking
paint's knocked off. So
yeah,
actually,
shoved the rest of it. I shoved all his accessories and everything, and his extra heads and all that stuff into a Ziploc bag and threw it in a drawer. So
it looks like the exact same color that I used to paint the Rage figure. No, so I already got the paint downstairs, so I can just fix that.
Matt, you did a video you made a Doomsday, and you said you used an oil or a shade on him, and I'm wondering. I watched your video, but you didn't say what shade or oil you used
for the Doomsday one.
Yeah, you said you'd use like a shade or an oil on him.
I don't remember what I used on him. I mean, he's basically. So on the Doomsday, I redid him. Well, I mean, he's all done with the Mr. Hobby, Mr. Color all the colors I used on him. So I read it as gray, and I used the white for all the bony protrusions, and then I might have added some. I think I might have added a darker gray or something to him to give him some texture.
Okay.
And then I sealed him up with some Mr. Hobby flat matte finish. I think that's all I used on him. He's not one that I went into a lot of detail on, like sometimes I'll go in and for some figures, depending on what they are, I'll do like dry brushes and stuff on them and stuff like that. Like especially if it's a figure that's metal, and I'll do like a silver dry brush over whatever the color is, just to give it a scuffed up look or something. Yeah. I didn't have to do that with him. I don't remember what all. I don't know. It's been a while since I made that video, so I might have said stuff in that video because I was remembering it fresh at the time because I had just done it. So I don't remember.
One of the most satisfying things is when you dry brushing silver over black.
Oh
yeah.
Just the tiniest bit of black silver paint's all you need. Almost a dry brush, completely dry brush.
When you paint Shadow Riders or anything with the Nazgul, it's just a flat black and then dry brush with silver and different like that, and it makes it look amazing. The less you do, the better it looks. So
you get too heavy on silver paint when you're brushing it, it can look sloppy.
Yep, agreed.
The graphite powder. If you haven't tried that, Duke, once you clear over silver, take you some graphite powder and buff it down. It looks like real metal.
Does it gum up the model at all?
No, it's like it's not even there.
Do you have a video of you doing that?
I got a tutorial on using the graphite powder.
Okay. Will you put that in the side link or in the side chat, please? Or yeah, I'd love to see that.
I still haven't used that graphite powder you sent me. I keep meaning to do it because I got that Silver Surfer that I want to do it to. And you said to do it like you got better results when you did it on top of the clear coat?
Yes.
Okay.
You hit your silver with the clear coat after you put the silver on, then you polish the clear coat with the graphite powder, and it just turns from silver paint to look like metal.
That's cool. What the hell is JB doing? Bending over, trying to find Plastic Man. I'm sure.
Matt, thoughts on the new Lord of the Rings movie?
The animated one?
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
The trailer looks awesome. I've already got the freaking action figures for it.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing it whenever. When does it come out? In like 2 weeks, I think it's beginning of December.
The 14th. So
14th, yeah, so like two weekends from today, I think.
I'm put it in the private chat.
Very much looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully it's good. It looks good.
I've got some hope.
All the people involved in it seem to know what they're doing. So as long as it doesn't turn out like that horrible fucking TV show on Amazon, I'll be happy. So,
and they got speaking of that, it got renewed for season 3.
Season 2 really fixed itself with a lot of problems, and I think it's gonna. They have learned their error, and they are gonna do less stupid woke things, and I think that they could turn the ship. The last few episodes where he fought the Belrog and and Gandalf is finding out who he is, I think that and it's gonna really shift towards war. I think we could get a good show out of this. I have faith in it.
I haven't even watched season 2 because I was so disappointed with season 1.
I would agree, but I would give season 2 a chance with that thought in mind that it is redirecting itself. As
my friend with the most Lord of the Rings knowledge, if you say I should watch it, I will watch it.
Well, thank you. No, Matt, I think that this new Lord of the Rings movie, they are relaunching the Lord of the Rings Games Workshop game revolved around that setting, and that's the new starter set. The new starter set is Rohan versus Men of Dunlin and it revolves around that movie, and they're relaunching the whole line.
Now, when does that War of Rohirrim? Is that how you say it?
200 years.
200
It's-
years. So 200
yeah.
years before Frodo and all that.
Yeah, it's like Helm Hammerhand. The guy who Helm's Deep is like based off of.
Yeah.
This is his story with his daughter.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. Because I knew it was a prequel to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. I just didn't know like how far back it was.
Yeah. So we're gonna get like probably some like.
So this is so before so more than likely not really going to see any of the characters we know, with the exception of maybe some elves, if they decide to throw them in that story.
We are going to see Christopher Lee's voice as Saruman.
That's right. I heard about that. Yeah, because they pulled a bunch of, because they had tons of hours and hours of unused audio from him from those movies that they were able to rework into that. So yeah, so this is even before Aragorn. Because how old is Aragorn in Lord of the Rings? It's like
96.
96. Yeah. So
we won't see anybody, and they probably won't show anybody other than Saruman. But I think we have a possibility of like some things about Sauron and the whispers in the east, and maybe some junk, some trash like that. But I think we'll be pretty close to just trying to be fresh. There's rules right now with what they're allowed to do, and I can't remember exactly how it goes, but a lot of what they're even able to do is still restricted around what New Line has control over versus books and movies and things.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, and they're in pre-production on the new movie, which is the Aragorn looking for
the Search for Gollum.
Search for Gollum, yeah.
Yeah, which is much more
explained. And I heard,
books.
And I don't know if this is true, but I saw it was reported, at least by one outlet, that they were in talks with Viggo Mortensen to reprise his role. And I was like, have you seen that dude lately?
Well, the beauties of CGI,
I guess. But he's like the main character in the story. Like,
yeah, but
that's a lot of CGI. Like, look, I love Viggo Mortensen. He was great as Aragorn, but I'm like, it's been over 20 years. That dude has gotten a lot older, and he's supposed to be playing younger. I was just kind of thrown off on that because I was like, that seems like an interesting choice. Like, I mean, I get, he made that role. You know what I mean? Like, I do. I understand that. But
yeah,
it also sometimes reminds me of like, maybe we just recast. Maybe the characters are more important than the actors, which is something I think Hollywood doesn't understand.
Yep.
Because look, that's the whole reason we got those stupid fucking sequels we got from Star Wars, is because they're like, we don't want to recast all the characters and do stuff that takes place 5 or 10 years after Jedi, so we got to tell it 30 years in the future and tell some jacked up ass story where the characters you grew up with aren't the main characters.
Well, it's kind of like with along lines with Jonathan Banks from Breaking Bad when they did like Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
it's set before, and he looks so much older in Better Call Saul than he was in Breaking Bad.
But I don't know. We'll see if he's gonna play it. I just assumed when I heard the movie's coming out, I was like, oh well, I'm sure they're gonna get a younger actor to play Aragorn.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
I don't know.
I mean,
it's still in pre-production, so who knows?
Yeah, they
Viggo Mortensen might be like, you know what? Fuck that. No, I'm old. I don't want to fucking do this shit.
Yeah, they're also gonna throw out whatever money he wants.
Yeah,
which I'm sure he didn't make a ton of money off the first Lord of the Rings. To be honest,
I don't think really anybody did.
Nobody made money.
Yeah, because they didn't. Well, I mean, the studios made money off of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No actors,
but none of the actors did. I heard even what's his face didn't make that much money off it. Like he made more money off of the Hobbit movies. What's his face? The director. Why am I blanking on his name? Peter Jackson made more money off the Hobbit movies than he did off Lord of the Rings, because at the time they were only willing to pay him so much because they're like, we're spending so much money just on the sets and everything else, and we're investing so much money. We're not paying the actor shit. We're not paying you, the director, shit.
Well, yeah, they're all no names, most of them. Other than like Ian McKellen and like Christopher Lee, and Gimli. Everybody
Yeah.
else was pretty much no names, which is fine. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that, well, actually, they had to have gotten something on the back end when those things do that well. But I mean, I don't know. I have hope that is going to be good stuff. If Peter
I hope
Jackson's
so.
involved, he should have learned his mistakes from The Hobbit, which I still like those movies, and then like fix things to go more traditional. That's all I want to say.
As I've rewatched those movies over the years, each time I rewatch the Hobbit movies, I like them more. I was not that impressed when I first saw them.
Yeah,
And then as I've watched them more, I like them more and more. Even the second one, which I think is kind of a pointless movie, like it shouldn't have been a trilogy. It should have just been 2 movies.
agreed.
But I've gotten to like them more. My biggest issue with those movies, outside of the fact that they really stretched the story out in that second one to make for a trilogy, my biggest issue is that I miss the practical effects of the original trilogy.
Yep.
That made such a difference in
Mhm.
the first 3 movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so obviously, it was a stark change when you go from watching Lord of the Rings trilogy to Hobbit trilogy, because I think the stories there, all the actors they got were good. Like I said, I've come to appreciate those movies a lot more over the years. But it's still, when you watch it, you're just like, man, I wish this wasn't fucking CGI, because it's so obviously CGI.
Well, and when it's obvious that it's CGI, your brain checks you out.
Yeah.
And you could love it as much as you want, but your brain checks you out of it, and that's what didn't happen in the original trilogy. So we can only hope that, like I said, come on, learn from your mistakes, do what you need to do, and we'll all come back for it.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean,
I hope they do, because I want more good Lord of the Rings stuff. It's a phenomenal universe of stories and characters and stuff.
Well,
it's
that's
awesome.
what I'm hoping. Yeah, if it does well, there are many, 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 many stories that you can continue to tell that revolve around the Lord of the Rings. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you could bounce around in. Sadly, the Rings of Power hasn't done a great job at that, but hopefully they can fix that. So we can only hope. So
I also popped in my head when Vigo playing the younger person, like Steve Buscemi when he's undercover, like, "Hello, fellow young people."
Oh yeah,
yeah. What we don't want is Robert De Niro in The Irishman, because CGI on that was so bad.
I've never watched that movie. I watched the trailers.
So bad.
And I saw the trailers and was like, I will not be watching that. And then once it came out, all I heard was people complaining about it.
Okay, I like the movie. I love the movie. I just hate seeing Robert De Niro playing a younger version of himself. That's what I hate.
We can back that up. I just hate seeing Robert De Niro, period. Fixed it.
There you go.
But no, I heard it was like really obvious, because it's like there's just a thing, and like dudes like that, especially they get in their freaking 70s and stuff. Like, they walk different, they carry themselves different, like everything's different. And I heard it was just really, really obvious that even when they were doing the CGI stuff and trying to make him look younger, it was just really obvious he was still an old guy.
Well, he's beating up a guy at the corner store, and for smacking his daughter, and his hand is doing like the old man hand thing, where it's like crumpled up in his sleeve. I'm not being mean or nothing, but it just looks ridiculous. And he's punching this guy who's like 35, and it's obviously a joke. I'm like, come on, just fix this. And his face is old. Come on, man.
It's one of those things. Like, what is the opposition to just using a younger actor?
Yeah.
Like, especially for something like, because wasn't part of the deal with that movie, right? Is like it shows him when he's older too, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like that movie where Harrison Ford played Blake Lively plays that immortal woman.
Yeah.
She dates Harrison Ford who's young, and ends up start dating his son.
And they got a younger actor to play Harrison
Ford.
Yeah. So
that's what they needed to do.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, it goes back to like, yes, we all love the actors we grew up watching, but we love the characters more. And it's okay to swap them out. It's okay to be like, hey,
that's a really good way of putting it.
I mean,
We love the actors, but we love the characters more. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look, we all grew up. Look, Jesus Christ, we all grew up with James Bond. I grew up with freaking Doctor Who, where they changed actors every fucking 3 seasons or something. You know what I mean? Like you can trust the audience. Like, make a good movie, and we will go watch it. Like, you don't have to be scared. Like, oh, if we don't have the original actor in it, nobody's going to want to see it. No, that's not how that works. And it's been, and again, the biggest example of that is the James Bond series that is up to, what, 26 movies, I think, at this point?
The era of the Hollywood superstar is over. People like the characters more than the actors. Actors are not really the draw anymore.
Well, unless, of course, you're Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman, I guess.
I would even say no to them. Like, in certain characters, yes. But nobody's rushing to go see whatever other crap Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman's doing. The last movie star we have, then I think this
Tom
is
Cruise.
Probably without a doubt, is Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is the last movie star who can pull an audience just because he's in it. I think he's the last one we got, and I don't think there's going to be any more when he finally does whatever now that he's in his freaking 60s. Like, when he decides, I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, I think he's it. I think he's the last one. For a while there, remember for a while, The Rock got big, and you could, like, The Rock could be in anything, and people will go see it because it was a Rock movie. That died a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because you see the new meme.
Too phony.
Have you seen the new meme where it
tell all
says
these fake stories, get bested on it, and people just go known as a phony now?
it's the new meme, and it says the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse of the movie I won't go see: The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black. And it's some girl I can't remember, but it shows these people are in the movie. I'm definitely not seeing it.
All 3 of the people from Jumanji.
Yeah.
Which is sad. I like those Jumanji movies, though. Those Jumanji movies are good. But yeah, there's just not really any. There's no movie stars, and we all grew up with it. I mean, that was since the existence of film, Hollywood, like that was the status quo. Is a movie a lot of times hung its hat on who starred in that movie, and those people became themselves the draw to the movie. And it doesn't mean that there weren't other movies that came out throughout the existence of Hollywood that didn't, become classic movies or anything like that with people that had not been previously movie stars, right? But it was a thing that was seemingly set in stone, and up through most of my life, even going up into the early 2010s, it was still a thing that you could get a big actor and they would sell the movie. The movie almost in some ways became secondary to getting somebody big to play a big role in it. And that has just died so hard in the last decade.
Yeah.
It is just tanked, which I have no problem with. I don't care either way. Although we've all gone to see movies just because somebody was in it that we were like, oh, I like this person in that or whatever. So
if Bruce Campbell's in a movie, I'm still gonna go watch it.
Well, yeah.
Well, I just think the death of movie, though, like we've seen the death of cinema in a
lot of ways.
5 years.
Yeah, in a lot of ways we have. And I would think I feel like, and not to just keep harping on it, but like I feel like a lot of that is Disney's fault because of what they've done to multiple franchises. Franchises that they came in and bought and took over and then just fucking tried to seemingly run into the ground. And a lot of times they would do it on the basis of let's get this person in this role or this person in this role. Now, that's not why the movies sucked, was because of the actors they had in it, right? The movies that they did that, whether it's the sequels or some of the later Marvel stuff or whatever it is, right? Like, that's not why the movie sucked, was because they picked certain actors. The movie sucked for other reasons, but it certainly, I think on a massive level, and especially because the internet is now a thing that it didn't used to be back in the 90s or even in the 2000s, that like completely removed that mask of like, well, so-and-so's still in it. And maybe it wasn't the greatest movie, but it still made a lot of money. And a lot of people still went and saw it. And you didn't hop online immediately and talk about it to, 1, 2, 100, 5,000, 100,000 people about how much the movie sucked, regardless of who's in it. And I think that is the biggest factor in this, much like with a lot of things, is the internet being open to communicate when something sucks, which we didn't have in the 90s. I couldn't have told you most of the movie, unless you sat there and watched Siskel and Ebert on Saturday nights, right? Like, we didn't know when we went to go see a movie if it sucked or not. We had no freaking clue. Like, unless you watched the critics, which, occasionally I would, but, like you didn't know, you would roll up to the movies. Like, I can't tell you how many times I did this. I used to do this all the time in the 90s and even going into the 2000s. Fucking me and my friends would just go, like, you want to go to the movies? Sure. What's playing? I don't know. Let's go see. You just go to the movies and be like, that's starting soon. And it's got so-and-so in it. Let's just go see that movie. And you knew nothing about the movie. You hadn't read any reviews. And with communication being what it is, where every single person can sit there and tell you how much something sucks and break it down in some 10-minute video on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever in ways that you used to have to wait up till 10 o'clock on Saturday night to watch Siskel and Ebert to do, right? That really kind of removed a lot of the mysticism behind movies. And so it started to not matter who was in the movie. Is the movie any good? Because everybody's talking about it. How good is it? Or how bad is it? How much does it suck? Who cares who's in the movie? Like, that became much, much less important as this became a thing. And a lot of the impetus of that was really seen throughout the Star Wars sequel movies. Although a lot of it started, I think, where I noticed it first was was it 2014, 2016, whatever year that was, the Ghostbusters movie, the all chick Ghostbusters movie. 2016. There you go.
Yeah.
Where had we not had the internet when that movie came out, that movie would have been a hit because it was Ghostbusters, and people may have still gone and seen it, and it may have made a bunch of money. It may have still sucked, but it would have made a bunch of fucking money, and critics would have came out and loved it because they did anyway, and everybody would have just assumed it was a good movie, so they'd go see it, and then everybody would be talking about how much money it made and how good of a movie it was everywhere you go. And so the average person, because we've all done this, the average person would be like, well, I guess it wasn't that bad. I guess it was an okay movie. And that whole, facade of the movie industry is just gone. You can't, like, people knew before that movie came out, this thing fucking sucks.
There's still people that's like in denial and trusted that was a good movie. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I could sum it up in this sentence. The world is moving on, but society and Hollywood is still remaining in the past.
Well, because that's where their power is.
Yes.
They're hanging on to their power. Yeah. Hollywood has had a lot of power and a lot of influence for a very long time. Hollywood is part
of the focus, the shift away from the movie star. They don't really like the movie star. That takes away some of the power from the studio. They want to make people the star. They want their product to be the star, so they don't have to pay the actors as much.
Yeah, but the problem is they can't write a movie for shit.
That too.
And going back to,
that's not true, and that's not fair. There are plenty of good movies out there still, even to this day, and there are plenty of good writers out there writing good shit. That I'm sure. Like, I am still, because I remember reading a breakdown on what's his name? Is it Colin Trevorrow? What the fuck was his dude's name? The dude that did, huh?
Yeah, from
Godzilla, right? He did the Godzilla movie in 2014, and anyway, his original concept for the for Star Wars, because remember he was supposed to do one of the Star Wars movies, and if you read his like his breakdown, his script for the it would have been a fucking great movie.
Yep.
But they let dipshit what's his face come in and completely fuck up the second movie and completely derail anything good that had been created.
Roundhead Johnson.
There you go. He came in and completely screwed up anything good that The Force Awakens gave us, which I still maintain The Force Awakens was a fine movie. Like, it was just a rehash of A New Hope, but I was kind of okay with it because it's 40 years later for a new audience. Yeah, why not? I gave them leeway. I gave them a pass on that they're like basically rehashing A New Hope. And I was like, okay. And I still thought it was a fun movie, even except for Han Solo dying. That was the only part that was fucked up. But I was like, okay, we'll see where this goes.
I'll say it's the better
Chewie
out
walked
of the
away from Leia after Han died. She hugs the person she knew for 2 minutes. Like, Han's dead.
Yeah.
Said Chewie, who's been with him his entire life.
Yeah, it was when you look at what they originally what J.J. Abrams set up in the first movie, good, bad, whatever, right? Like, he introduced a lot of stuff that could have paid off. Like, the biggest thing he introduced that could have paid off, which I think was the biggest mistake that those sequels made, he set up that Finn was supposed to be Force sensitive, and Finn was supposed to be the main character in the following 2 movies, not Rey.
He was supposed to be the chosen one.
Well, it's not that he was the chosen one, but he and this was such a cool concept because we've seen it played out many, many times in many different types of movies and TV shows and stories and things like that, which is like you take the person who you least expect to become the hero, i.e. a former fucking stormtrooper. And what they did to his character in the second and third movie was a slap in the face to fans, to the story, and to that actor. Like, he should have been the main character. He should have been the fucking hero of that story. That is a story that Star Wars hasn't told before, right? Where you take somebody that's literally working for the Empire. He's a fucking stormtrooper. And he becomes the hero of the Resistance. You know what I mean? That was a story we hadn't seen on screen before. And that was how it was planned out. And they just let dipshit Rian Johnson come in and just fuck everything up with that awful fucking Last Jedi movie. And like that, to me, that's still the biggest mistake they fucking made. Well, the biggest mistake they made was letting Rian Johnson touch anything at all. But
they should have, instead, they doubled down. They could have fixed that and just wrote off the second movie because it was so divisive and people hated it.
Yeah, he wanted to try to create something
at the end of Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Have the third movie be Rey waking up from a nightmare.
7 and be done with it.
Well,
honestly, I think what should have happened. You just make Rey the fucking bad guy in the end in the third movie.
Like we saw.
When she had that fucking vision or whatever the shit it was.
Being a Sith, yeah.
You make it. You could still have her be a quote unquote Palpatine, but you don't bring back Emperor Palpatine.
No,
because you laid no groundwork to fucking do that. If you had laid groundwork to do it, cool, but you didn't. So you still make her a Palpatine. And then you have her fucking become the bad guy. You have her like fucking what's his face? Snoke was fucking dead. You have Kylo Ren pull her over to the fucking dark side in the third movie, and Finn has to be the fucking hero of the galaxy. Like, that would have been a better fucking movie than that shit we got. Fucking horses in space? Are you fucking shitting me?
Look too at this. It was Hollywood pushing, saying, okay, we have to have a strong female lead now. When there's plenty of movies and TV shows that have done that, but like, no, we got to have This is a brand new Star Wars, a brand new trilogy. We need a strong female to lead the franchise moving forward.
You know what would have been even better?
Uh-huh.
If you had a strong female villain. That happens even less than strong female heroes.
Oh,
but no, we can't do that. We can't tell a good fucking story. We all in here could come up with better fucking stories for that that trilogy. And none of us are fucking movie writers.
I could give you
or
5
writers
minutes.
of any kind. And
I could
we
give
could
you
all
5
come
minutes.
up with a better story.
5 minutes. I can give you 5 minutes right now.
Do it.
You could do it.
Yeah, if only Timothy Zahn had handed them 3 scripts ready to go for sequel movies.
How strange. If only Timothy Zahn had basically written the book on what could be not just some of the best Star Wars storytelling ever done, but some of the best science fiction storytelling ever done. Too bad that he hadn't done that. Oh, wait, he fucking did. And
It's too bad that Star Wars doesn't have years of books to pull from like other major.
Yep. I will say this. They brought back Luke at the end of The Mandalorian. Young Luke. And then you have him continue the book of Boba Fett. If they did not kill Luke in The Last Jedi, and he wasn't even in the sequel trilogy, and you've seen him appear in The Mandalorian, of course, the book of Boba Fett, you'd be like, okay, where is his journey going to go? And
that's what they should have done anyway. Just continue the story after Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
They should just recast Luke, Han, and Leia and gone from there.
Sebastian Stan should have played Luke. I mean, there have been plenty of pictures of him, edited photos of him dressed as Luke, and I think he could have pulled it off a few years ago, like when he was starting out. Like
whoever just said the Timothy Zorn line. Yeah, you're fucking right, bro, because they did actually have a whole trilogy of books that were written, geniusly written, that spell out exactly how the storyline of all of these characters should go in the immediate aftermath of Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, I could do that better. I know that's like critically acclaimed by the people who were fans of this franchise for decades, because that was written at a point of time when Star Wars really had nothing going on. So people were really hungry for Star Wars, and there was a bunch of people trying to fill that void, and that was the undisputed king, I believe, of
hands down
that came out.
I agree.
And everybody knows it, and everybody who wrote this new shit was just like, oh, well, I could just do it better. Like, I could just ignore everything that they did and just make my own shit up. It's like, dude, no, you can't, first of all.
Well, that's what they do with Marvel as well, because they will even actively tell people, the new writers coming in, don't read any of the comics. Make up your own stuff.
Oh, and by the way...
that's the correlation I was going to bring up together, because we were like when Matt was talking about the whole thing with happened with Finn. I'm like, the whole series was supposed to be teaching the new generation, but all them characters got shafted pretty much. And when Palpatine came back, they're like, oh, we need to bring back a familiar face because that's the only way we can sell things. Kind of like what they're doing right now with Marvel. They're trying to bring back Robbie Downey Jr.
as Dr. Doom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make, and I have argued with friends on that thing. Like, how are they going to make sense that you have Tony Stark back as Dr. Doom, which he is supposed to be the main line Dr. Doom of the MCU? It's not going to make sense, really, either way you put it, because he looks like Tony Stark. So the only way it makes sense is to do the multiverse, even though they have stated, especially in Deadpool Wolverine, that the multiverse is dead. But it's not.
Well, no, it's not, because they're building the Secret Wars, which is all about the multiverse. It's not dead. They have
never said the multiverse is dead. It's
in Deadpool
Wolverine, and the entire concept of it was the multiverse.
Oh, I know. I was mentioning because that was a Deadpool Wolverine. I was just making a nod to that movie, is all. Because Lady Deadpool actually says to them that the multiverse is over.
I don't know, man. I will see. We'll see.
Because honestly, on the business standpoint, you get it. You bring back a big name, a familiar face, like you were saying. Bring back a brilliant name, a man who started the MCU, the first one, who made him billions of dollars. You bring him back as a business standpoint. But story-wise, character-wise, how does it make sense? I mean, we could all sit here right now and find better castings to be Doctor Doom of the MCU.
I thought you were about to make the Chewbacca argument.
It doesn't matter because they're rebooting the entire universe. None of the
Yeah.
movies matter right now.
None of the shit that happens in the
Yeah.
next 3 years matters.
Oh,
And
I know.
None of it fucking does, because once
Yeah.
they do
So
Secret War,
actually, I don't care about any of their castings right now because it's all being thrown out.
yeah, it's all gonna get trashed as soon as Secret Wars comes out, and they fucking do all the bullshit and get all the multiverse stuff done and over, and the universe reboots and all that shit. They're gonna recast every single fucking person, every single fucking character, and start all over again. So it really doesn't fucking matter what they do. I don't care that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom at the end of this version of the MCU. Who gives a
That's
shit?
true. That's
You know
true.
what I
Why
mean?
would you?
I don't
Okay,
care.
hold on. Why would that possibly be okay in any fucking scenario whatsoever where the most popular character from your fucking entire franchise dies famously, saving everything, right? And you're just going to be like, well, you know, the sales are down on the new movie, so you know what we need is a little more Robert Downey Jr. sprinkled in there.
See,
So that
right
we can
there.
bring this back, and we can get that name, and like you were talking about earlier with the big names bringing in people. Like, yeah,
But-
it kind of works still. It kind I think it works more for comedy, than it does for action, because people don't really give a fuck about the action. Anyone can do action, but when it comes to comedy, then like your big name matters. Your fucking whoever the fuck it is, like, has pull to bring people in because they know that he's going to be funny. But when it comes to action stars, bro, I mean, unless it's like a character that I'm already invested in, like Tony Stark, I don't give a shit. And if you're going to take the dead corpse of Tony Stark and reanimate him as the new bad guy, like, go fuck yourself with 2 fucking fingers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't give a shit anymore.
Siskel and Ebert
about the
give it
Marvel stuff.
2 fingers up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't expect anything. I don't expect anything between now and when Secret Wars comes out and they destroy the Marvel universe to rebuild it. I don't expect anything to be good. If something happens to be good, cool. I don't expect shit from the MCU right now.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised that Deadpool and Wolverine was fucking great. I loved that movie.
So,
but I don't expect anything from Marvel for the next 3 fucking years, because they've fucking laid the groundwork. We all know where this is going. We all know that it's going to be a complete fucking reboot where they recast fucking everybody after the end of Secret Wars movie. None of these people are fucking coming back for their roles. So I don't think it fucking matters, and I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, if it happens to be good, cool. If it doesn't,
last that long? Do you think it lasts that long? Do you think it has time? Because from where it's at now to 3 years from now, because just because you got a Deadpool and Wolverine that you liked, but everything else is completely trash. Do you think it lasts that long?
I think there's enough morbid curiosity.
I mean, those movies still make money. Like, it's not like even that god awful movie, The Marvels, made fucking money.
Yeah,
like they're still making money.
Marvel
right?
movies are going to make money regardless, because there are diehard fans in the MCU who will watch anything they pump out, TV show, movie, anything. And I want to make
the Marvels lost money.
They've lost money. They have, but usually every movie and TV show comes out, they
Well,
always
Marvel's made money
somehow.
or was
Yeah.
it just the
Well, okay,
marketing?
so the problem is that they keep making these movies that are for everybody, including China, who doesn't understand nuance and like has all these problems with things that people say. So they have to make these milquetoast bland, everyone can digest it, easy to understand characters that have no dimensions, no facets, no growth, no experience, no journey, no hero's story to tell. It's just like, oh, here's the good guys and here's the bad guys, and the bad guy gonna get taken out by the good guy because he's strong. Oh, I like that. That's a very good story.
I will make this comment. I was watching a video earlier today about, it was mainly about Captain America 4 that's coming out next year, and how the movie has went through so many reshoots. There's been 2 different versions of the movie that audience test screens have seen. They hated them. And the person, he made one good point. He said Deadpool and Wolverine felt like it was a break for every MCU fan to just go over and watch a good movie for once. And now that Captain America 4 is coming out, and of course the Fantastic Four, it feels like right now we're getting back to work. So if Deadpool Wolverine was a break, and somebody brought up that getting back into the MCU film lineups again, we're getting back to work of, okay, we got to watch this, and this to get caught up leading up to Avengers, Doom, and then, of course, Secret Wars.
I feel it's like them getting back to work is like the Pride Parade getting moving again. Like it's like fucking, it's so bad, bro. And thank you, Duke, by the way, for laughing at my subtle racism from my Asian accent. That was great. I appreciate that.
I got the actual numbers here. The Marvel's budget was $274.8 million, plus another $100 million for marketing, and the movie only made $206 million worldwide. That's not taking out what the theaters take.
I mean, it's not as low, at least, as Red One did, which they did confirm that Red One was supposed to be an Amazon exclusive movie before it hit theaters. That's why.
There's another one. There's another one. Who in the fucking history of Star Wars ever gave a shit about people who didn't have the Force? That was always what the story was about. I mean, yeah, there's little Han fucking Solo doing some Han things, I guess, or whatever. But it was always about fucking Luke Skywalker learning how to fucking use the Force and fighting against Darth whatever fucking Sith guys, you know? It was always that. It wasn't like, oh, watched a guy fly the airplane into space now because it's a space plane and they fight in space now with Wazas. Like, it's like fucking 2-year-olds wrote this shit, bro.
Well, okay. Well, let me argue against that. I mean, there's a lot of people that love the Rogue Squadron fighters and all the other stuff. I mean, Star Wars has gone big enough where you can do certain stories that ain't have to deal with all Jedi all the time.
Yeah,
but
my favorite series.
Know how to make it.
My favorite series of books was the Rogue Squadron, and that had no Force stuff in it at all. It was just about Wedge taking over Rogue Squadron and all the shit they did, and they had like fucking 10 books on that shit.
I'll admit that might be a me thing. That might be a me thing. I don't know.
They got tons of Rogue Squadron video games.
Yeah, I agree with Dark's comment right here that Captain America 4 will be a bust. It will be.
It looks fucking awful, dude.
Yeah, it's awful.
It looks fucking horrible.
It's not.
And they're doing more reshoots.
They are doing more.
I know, for the third time.
Yeah, and the movie comes out in February.
I feel like that movie's going to at least make back its money.
I don't think
it's
so.
Make some crazy profit.
I'll tell you what, out of the two movies,
that's going to be real bad for Marvel. Marvel's going to be.
Out of the two movies we've got coming out that we've seen trailers for, the only one that looks mildly good is Thunderbolts. And that looks good because it is completely walking away from all the other bullshit going on in the MCU and being like, hey, here's all these fucking basically shitty asshole fucking not really good guy characters, and let's throw them together in some kind of fucking who the fuck knows what story where they're going to be fucking, because like they put together, except for there's two, like the Bucky's great. He's been a great character consistently. What's her face? Why am I blanking on her name? The new Black Widow. She's been a good character in everything I've seen her in. And Red Guardian's a fucking great character. I loved him. He was fucking great, and he was the best part of that fucking Black Widow movie.
David Harbour.
Yeah. So they're putting together some cool characters to go do their own thing. I actually like that trailer. That movie looked like it's going to be fun and entertaining because it's getting away from all the other fucking bullshit with Captain Marvel and who's fucking gives a shit about fucking Falcon Cap and fucking whatever the fuck else is going on and all this other shit that they've managed to fuck up. But that one looks good. Captain America 4 looks fucking awful. And apparently it is because every time they screen it, they go do a bunch of more reshoots.
I will make this point. It's like we've talked about several times. Avengers Endgame was the perfect send-off for this version of the MCU. We can all agree there that it was the better ending for this version of the MCU. But due to so many things of them pumping out, it's like, okay, Endgame was very successful. What can we do? Let's keep pumping out more MCU content for everybody to consume. When you pump out too much content, not everybody is going to watch everything that you pump out. The only people that probably will is the diehard fans of the MCU who will watch them. But I just think that really they should have kept the formula where, okay, we build. We don't, after Endgame, we killed off these characters move on, we build to a bigger story. But you have to try to keep it more film based, because you put too much out there. Yes, you're expanding your universe. Yes, you're expanding it, but that should have been done in phase 1. That should have been done probably in phase 2 is when I'd say that's a better time to expand the universe if you wanted to do so. But doing it right after one of the biggest MCU movies they did, you want to expand the universe now, there's no point anymore. Because like you guys said, this universe is going to get reset after Secret Wars. So there literally is no point of building a universe when you're literally erasing everything. It feels like a waste of time with all the shows.
Dude, to me, Endgame was like, the MCU is like sex, right? It's like every movie, like Captain America comes out, like, ooh, she's playing with my balls. It feels good. And then like the next movie, like fucking Winter Soldier, you know, like all these movies came out, and like I'm getting excited, you know, I'm like getting ready for it. And then Endgame comes out, and I just came. I fucking blew my whole load. And now they're like trying to tickle it back to boner, but I just emptied my entire nutsack.
Yeah.
There was a little dip there because right at the time the first Captain Marvel came out, right before Endgame, that's when she stuck her finger in your ass. And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
I was still coming. You know what I mean? Like, I was still coming.
I mean, it, like what I said, really, if you're going to expand a universe, you should have done it while the MCU was hot. But you waited.
Hey, we're getting a Fantastic Four movie that's going to be relevant for 2 years.
You just played with my balls after I already came, man. It's not doing much for me. Like, I wish you just put it away and like we can go again tomorrow.
Like, we'll agree, Fantastic Four should have already come out years ago. But because, you know, Fox would not share everything, they basically, you know, ruined the Fantastic Four, at least their take on them.
And that episode of Star Trek in the background, by the way, is distracting me. That's the episode where Captain Picard loses. He's no longer the captain because he has to go train for a mission and go to Romulus to, like, I forget what it was. There was some like specialization that he had in some kind of frequency that only he knows about or whatever, that he had to track down and find where it was coming from to see if they were experimenting. But it was all just a trap to lure Captain Picard to Romulus in order for them to kidnap him so that they could like interrogate him for information. And that's the famous episode where at the end, I think it's actually a two-part series, right? There's 2 episodes of this.
And that's the one with the Pegasus in it?
Yes. No. Yes. Maybe.
That's the captain. That's
the Pegasus
That's
episode.
Riker. That's Riker's former captain. Of the
Pegasus. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Am I messing up? It's hard to see what's going on.
Are you thinking that's Jellicoe?
No, that's not Jellicoe. Jellicoe's the one that
I'm asking Honda. Does he think that's Jellicoe?
Yeah, I thought that's what that was.
No, Jellicoe comes in when he has to go to Cardassia, and he's like,
"There
are 4 lights."
That's what it was. Cardassia. I had that all fucked up, man. I'm sorry, it's been a while.
Because, like I was saying, when I watch most of the shows, I see a lot of stuff they could have cut out to make a runtime of an actual movie and make it better. But they want to put, like every TV show does, usually to keep it going, is filler. Like, they want to add extra stuff in there to make it longer. Like,
sometimes filler episodes can be great, though. Like, honestly,
they can be, but it feels like you're pumping out too much. That's what I was saying. Like, limit what go through your category of what TV shows you really want to do, and use those to build your universe. But don't do it right after Endgame comes out. Do it during Endgame. Like, build up before Endgame comes out, because basically it's in the title, Endgame. That's the end. That right there would have been the perfect time to hit the reset button. After that movie was over, you do we're going to end.
Well, what should have happened after that movie is they should have stopped introducing new characters. They knew they were working towards. They already knew at that point they were working towards Secret Wars. Mm-hmm. So you stop introducing characters. All you do is fucking sequels. You do and I'm not saying you do the same ones, but you do the new Thor, you do the new Doctor Strange, you do another Captain America. Just make one that doesn't suck. You know, you do a fucking another
Doctor Strange 2. I don't know. Should have been Doctor Strange versus Mordo.
But they had to put the multiverse into it.
It should have been like a couple of years till they did. Like, Endgame should have dropped. and then there shouldn't have been anything after that for
There
like
sh-
2 years.
They should
There
have.
should have been a
People
break.
were like,
have
"Oh my
done-
god, I wish they would come out with something." And by the time they finally did, it's so well thought out and planned out, and people are so hungry for it that it would be an automatic success.
What they should have done is exactly where they started. Okay, they know they're gonna erase everything and restart over, but we got to get to that story. So let's start building that story again.
Oh no,
And
it's
the problem was there's only been one fucking movie that's come out that is building towards Secret Wars, and that was Doctor Strange. That was the only movie that they have dropped that fucking is building towards Secret Wars. I guess arguably you could say the Spider-Man No Way Home was somewhat building towards it in a way, bringing in the multiverse stuff. But they haven't been built. They're not building towards Secret Wars.
It's basically like, okay, these movies are filler. You don't have to watch them. It's like the TV shows.
I mean, I love Shang-Chi, but it's not building towards Secret Wars.
If it's not building towards your end goal, there's really no point at.
Yeah, there's no fucking point. I mean, even one of the worst Marvel movies ever, which is Thor: Dark World, was still building towards the Infinity Saga, because the key fucking MacGuffin in that movie was one of the Infinity Stones.
No, Marvel's has got that beat by being the worst.
I said one of the worst is what I said. I didn't say the worst. I said
Dude,
one of the worst.
I've tried to watch that
Dark
movie,
World.
I think 3 different times, and all 3 times I either like fell asleep or was like, "Fuck this," and did something else.
Which one? Thor: Dark World or Marvel's?
Marvel's. Dark World was bad, but it was bad
better
for
than
a
Marvel's.
movie. It was bad for a Marvel's movie, which is still pretty good. You know.
Yes.
But
Yeah, but if we only did sequels, we wouldn't have awesome movies like The Eternals.
No. Yeah.
like I agree with Matt. We should have sequels, but the problem is too. What also really was the end of the MCU is you had Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark die in a awesome sacrifice. Really, probably one of the most memorable deaths of any fictional character we've seen. And then you also had, Chris Evans as Captain America. He departed and left. So you have 2 big characters right there leaving the MCU that most people really want to go to the theater to see. That's one. Because when you take out 2 characters that really, really, really got people interested in their movies, you basically have lost a lot of steam because you're getting rid of your 2 biggest names. Now, you do have Chris Hemsworth's Thor, you do have Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, you have all that, sure. But we can all sit here and agree that Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Captain America brought people's butts to the theater.
They were the linchpins of the Marvel universe.
They were. And when they're gone, you have all this other heavy load that you have to fill their spots.
If you strike me down, you shall make me more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
And that's why they shouldn't have done anything but sequels, knowing that they were building towards fucking Secret Wars, and stop introducing new characters. Just fucking save them for the reboot. I want to get to this question here because I saw this question in the chat a few minutes ago.
Right.
Uraka, I'm probably butchering that name, dude. Says, what's your opinion on James Gunn's DC direction? I have no idea because I don't think we know really anything about what's going on. I can tell you some things that I don't like the way Guy Gardner looks like a retard in the fucking in the behind the scenes fucking.
Hey, you can't say that. That's our word.
Yeah. Other than that, dude, I don't know. Look, I love DC. I love Marvel. I want all these movies to be good. And I think James Gunn did a fantastic job with Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think there's several other James Gunn movies that I'm a big fan of that he did before he did Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope he does a great job. I hope when Superman comes out, it's a fantastic movie because Superman, like for many people, I'm sure, is one of my favorite superheroes. First superhero comic I ever read as like a fucking 5-year-old was Superman. And I want it to be good, and I hope it is. I have no idea if it's going to be. And we've heard practically nothing about what he overall plans for this new DC universe on film. I mean, I'm waiting. I know in a couple weeks here we're getting Creature Commandos that's going to drop, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm hoping that gives us kind of a feel for what he's going to do with the DC universe, because he actually did that. Like, that was he directed those episodes. We're also going to be getting Peacemaker season 2, which he says is in this new universe that he's doing himself, which will give us a little bit more of a feel for what he's going to do. We're going to be getting those 2 seasons of television before we get the Superman movie next year.
It'd be interesting to see how he handles putting Peacekeeper season 2 in this universe, since seeing the first season was clearly in the Snyder universe, because they actually show up at the end. Of the season.
Well, I saw him in an interview. He says, and I think, and he was joking, but he says, he's like, "Are y'all calling Peacemaker season 2 just Peacemaker season 2, or is it Peacemaker something else?" He goes, "It's called Peacemaker. Forget that the Justice League was in the last season."
Mhm.
That's what he said. He's like, everything else that happened in that first season happened in this universe. You just have to forget that the Justice League was in that one scene. He's like, and then you can just pretend like it's there. He's like, but everything else that we put into that movie will absolutely. As I almost dropped my microphone. Yeah, everything else we put in that movie will absolutely fit into this new universe, except for that one scene. So he's already come out and said that.
We have to give James Gunn credit, because the way the internet is today, I'm surprised he's kept everything like tight-lipped, so we don't know what's coming and what's being out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think he knows what. I don't even think he knows outside of Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, Superman, and Supergirl, which are the only things that are either about to come out or are in production right now. I don't think even he knows where it's going. And I say that because in the interview, I watched this like fucking 20-minute interview he had with some big wig fucking magazine or whatever. And they were asking him about like Batman and all this other stuff. And he's like, look, we are still working on all this stuff. We do not have any plans set in stone for any characters outside of what we're already working on, because we are waiting for good stories. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen with Batman. He's like, we have some ideas of what we would like to see, but we're not sticking to any of those unless we actually have a good story. And he's like, and a good story could end up coming out and be completely different from what we had in mind. He's like, but if it's a good fucking story, we'll fucking do it.
Okay, I've got a great story, right? Superman, except for he was born in like, I don't know, like 2000 instead of whenever he was born in the things. And instead of being born in Iowa, he was born in a town outside of Kenosha. And then there was all these George Floyd riots, right? And everyone was like freaking out. And like his alter egos is got this dude named Kyle, right? And Kyle showed up to the protest to like render aid to people and like have protection. But he, like he could totally just rip people apart with his fucking super strength and his laser eyes. But he decided to bring a gun with him because like that's what normal people carry. So like he wanted to like, show a force. And then a bunch of things happen, like you just use your imagination from there. What happens?
Yeah, it sounds like a wholly new story that I've never heard before.
His arch nemesis is named Skate or Die.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you some here.
This Rosenbaum guy comes after him, but he's got like mutant powers that we didn't.
Rosenbaum did kind of look like Lex Luthor, like a pedophile version.
Pedophile Lex Luthor.
I was like, no relation.
I'm just saying, he did kind of look like that.
You got to call him that. And every time we reference, you got to call him that.
Preston Garbage dropped in a super chat. Thank you, Preston. What they should have been doing since Iron Man 1 is setting up B and C character movies so it didn't get boring. I mean, they did though. I mean, look, since Iron Man 1, they set up as much as they could. They set up the Hulk. They couldn't because they didn't have rights to do a Hulk movie. They set up Thor. They set up Iron Man. They set up Captain America. They set up Black Widow. They set up Hawkeye. They set up Ant-Man. They set up fucking like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, they did a lot of setup. Doctor Strange, like fucking, they did a lot of setup. Black Panther, right? In that first phase or two, they set up a lot of characters that easily could have gotten us all the way to Secret Wars. And the only thing I will say, because I think the one good thing that they are doing, and they have been doing, and are I'm 100% certain are going to continue to do up through Secret Wars. I don't know about after Secret Wars, which is there's also been enough pre-MCU media that I think what they did in Deadpool and Wolverine with bringing in other characters from pre-MCU, Fox era and stuff like that was great. I think when they did it in the last Spider-Man movie by bringing in the two other versions of Spider-Man was great, worked great. I think they can keep doing that. If they want to bring new characters into stuff, they have a roster of other characters that they now can just use whenever the fuck they want because they have all the fucking rights back, right? And that, but between what they set up in the first three, the characters they set up in the first three phases of Marvel, and being able to bring those characters in anytime they want throughout this multiverse phase 4 or 5 or whatever the fuck it is now, they have more than enough characters to fucking work with. I love the movie Shang-Chi, right? But it didn't need to be there, right? It didn't need to exist. The Marvels didn't need to exist. Eternals didn't need to fucking exist. Like, there's so much that didn't need to exist when they knew where they were going with this. They fucking knew they were going towards Secret Wars.
So,
for some odd reason, they abandoned the Inhumans to go with Eternals.
Yeah.
People actually liked the Inhumans. Nobody gave a shit about Eternals.
Yep.
I have a huge comic book collection. I have nearly 8,000 comic books. I have 0 Eternals comics.
Well, that's because you're a bigot.
What do you hate something?
I discovered that I have a
the character that shows up at the end of the Eternals, Star Fox,
Captain Rape.
He's a rapist.
So I discovered I have a superpower, but it's like a really shitty one, right? And I was on a chat the other night, and I was reading something, and I was like reading along, and everything's fine. And then it got to this point where, like, all of a sudden I had like a fucking aneurysm or something. Like, I couldn't fucking read the last part of the sentence, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I was like at work today, and they set up these like Christmas lights that go from like orange to green to yellow to red to blue, and like when it's red I can see it fine, when it's orange I can see it fine, when it's green I can see it fine, but when it's blue my eyes just go and I can't fucking focus on it. And when I was reading the chat the other night, the first half of the thing that I was reading was black and white, and then it got to the last part and the lettering was in blue, and my eyes cannot. And if it's like a blue sheet or like a blue poster on the wall, it's fine. I can see that fine. But if it's a blue light, like a source of light that the light is blue, my eyes just get fucking. It's like Superman in the red fucking sun, bro. It fucks me up.
I was going to mention about the MCU. Do y'all think they will recast everybody, or do you think they'll do like a James Gunn and just bring an older actor to play a character in the new universe?
All right, just ignore my eye problem. It's fine.
I didn't ignore your eye problem. I switched our background.
I was trying to keep it in topic. I was trying to keep it in topic on that.
Like the grid, you see that blue grid in the background? I have to like really like squint my eyes and look at it to focus on it to bring it into character.
I was trying to keep it topic.
It reminds me of the grid from the lesser known movie Escape from New York, which isn't as good as Escape from LA. You know what I mean?
I was thinking Tron,
exactly.
Okay.
You got it right, Duke. You finally got it right. You actually got it right. Do you think Duke's aware of what he just said?
I'm retarded. I messed
That's
that.
our word.
I'm gonna clip that, and we now have proof. Duke just admitted Escape from LA is a superior movie.
But
he just admitted it.
You're gonna recast the big names. They're gonna recast the whole X-Men's gonna get recast. But I do think they're gonna keep Ryan Reynolds on as Deadpool.
Well, yeah.
Why would they not?
They'll keep him on. They'll keep.
Why would they not? Who else would possibly play Deadpool that they'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I know Ryan Reynolds did an awesome job and always knocked it out of the park, but yeah, fucking Chris Rock can do it.
Chris Rock is Deadpool. Dude,
Nah,
I would
Jack
go
Black.
see that. It would suck,
Okay.
but I'd still watch that
Okay.
shit.
We know Ryan Reynolds.
Have Kevin Hart have like a little 5 foot tall Deadpool running around.
Yeah. Well, we know Ryan Reynolds is staying as Deadpool. We know it. But who else would you keep to stay in the new MCU? Who else could stay?
Well, we know Spider-Man's going to stay.
Okay, Tom.
Be-
yeah, that's two. But who? Like Tom will
Um,
stay. They'll have Ryan Reynolds. But who else would you keep? Like, would they keep Hugh Jackman? Would he continue it?
Oh man,
I know
I
he said
might
he
be
wants
black.
to. I know he said that this Deadpool Wolverine movie gave him new life, and he wants to continue doing Wolverine. But so
I don't think they should. I don't think they should keep any of them at all.
no,
I think you need to reboot everybody. I think Deadpool and maybe Spider-Man, and that's only because Spider-Man's controlled by Sony, so they don't have a fucking choice.
mm-hmm.
That's why that's going to stay like that.
Well, dude, Tom Holland is also a young guy, so I mean, he could carry a Spider-Man franchise for a long time.
Well, if I had
only
my
thing
if I
keeping
had
Sony
my
alive.
choice, they would totally recast Spider-Man.
Who would you
Because
pick?
I have no idea, but I would just say you need a fresh start for every character except for Deadpool. He's the only character that makes sense
Well,
because
they,
you don't have to explain it. That's the type of
Right,
character
well,
he is.
with Tom Holland, they can they keep him around, get him out of high school, get him older.
Well, they are. Well, at the end of No Way Home, they.
Well, I
did
know
take
he's
him to
going to college, but
He's in college. But
he's nearly 30 years old. Let him
Okay,
quit
so
being a kid.
new Spider-Man. Here's my new Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire.
no.
He's like this,
I think
like probably haven't heard of him before. He's an
Like,
actor who's been in a
No,
few things.
honestly,
He'd be a great Spider-Man.
to be completely honest, if I had my choice of who Spider-Man would be, they would bring back Andrew Garfield.
Andrew.
They would bring back Andrew Garfield after Secret Wars, and he would now be the older Spider-Man who's married to Mary Jane, who is the Spider-Man we've known in the comics since like 1990. He's been that version of Spider-Man for 35 fucking years in the comics, where he's in his 30s. He's married to Mary Jane. He's an older, experienced Spider-Man. That is the Spider. I would stop with this high school, college age bullshit. I would just, because we've never gotten an actual, like, I've been Spider-Man for a while version of fucking Spider-Man at the movies. We've never fucking gotten that where he's actually like doing well for himself and not just some shithead always getting yelled at by fucking J. Jonah Jameson, but where like he's actually doing shit and working as like a scientific engineer and taking care of his family and making money, but still fighting crime. That version of Spider-Man that we've had for 35 years in the comics is the version we should have now. And I think Andrew Garfield was fantastic as Spider-Man, even though those movies weren't that great. I think he was a perfect choice.
Well, thank you, Matt, because I've been waiting for that type of Spider-Man for the longest. See, I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but I always liked that concept of how he was when he's older.
Yeah.
But
that's
people love to go back
the
to the high
Spider-Man
school
we
stuff.
should have after fucking Secret Wars is a Spider-Man that's been around for a while.
I just with what Honda touched based on, I just thought of a really cool idea for them to do. And if they want to do a young Spider person, do the M2 Peter Parker, where he's older, he's retired, he's lost a leg, he's got bionics type thing, and his daughter takes over.
Because he can't see blue light. Exactly.
And he can't see blue light.
May Parker,
That's what happens to
he's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Girl.
I mean,
introduce Spider-Girl and have Peter and Mary Jane be married with their kid.
I mean, Tom Holland, he's getting up in age. I mean, him being practically the same age, of course. So, I mean, he's getting up in there. He's getting up to be 30, which we all want a 30-year-old.
Everybody ignore what I just said.
Yeah. I hear you. Of the blue light, of course.
What'd I say?
You said that you want Peter to be older and retired and have Mayday take over.
Okay.
I heard you. I was listening this time, Jared. I was paying attention.
He was listening. He
But,
just immediately moved on to something else.
Yeah.
But no, I think we.
Did anybody read the M2 universe?
No, I was not reading comics. I'm aware of it,
I have.
but I never read it.
In the 90s, it was extremely popular character.
But
Her book went to, she had 2 series. The first one went for, I think like 120 some issues. Then you had like another run for about another 100.
yeah, I mean,
And they had like spin-offs, multiple universes, multiple like alternate characters were like in the older timeline.
I mean, let's get Shelby's opinion. He hasn't said much. He's been rocking his chair and everything, and he hasn't got his opinion.
What kind of sword is that behind you?
That is Narsil, Lord of the Rings.
Renew the blade that was broken, the crownless again shall be king.
This is the pre-broken one. So,
I mean, Shelby, what's your opinion on the topic of Spider-Man? What's your opinion?
Well, I like the idea of having an older one. I don't need to see Spider-Man's origin stories for the 15th time. I mean, whether his uncle dies or his aunt dies, it doesn't matter. I mean, someone's gonna die. I do kind of like the idea of May Parker, Mayday. I think that'd be kind of cool. But I also really want to have that actual Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yeah,
in his prime.
They could actually run where they have like a multiverse. They actually have an older universe with Mayday and do Andrew in the main universe as take over as the main older Peter Parker.
Or because it's 2025 about to be, they're probably just going to do Miles Morales. Let's be honest.
No,
I
don't think they're going to do Miles in live action. They're going to keep him to his own animated universe.
No way, bro. They're going to do that live. If you don't think
he'll be
so,
introduced at some point.
He'll get introduced live.
I think they will do it live,
but I don't
that's
think
way later.
I don't think they're going to do Miles anytime soon, seeing as how the anime movies are so successful.
Here's a question: does Miles Morales' mask have Time Lord technology? Because
yes, it is.
Huge head of hair, but when he puts that mask on, it's like he's got a shaved head.
It's probably going to have to.
It's got Time Lord technology. It's bigger than the inside.
He should just start wearing a hairnet, probably, or something, or a cap.
The mask has a pocket dimension where when he puts it on.
Fucking Canadian.
Well, see,
yeah,
they fixed that in a terrible way with the Spider-Man 2 video game. They just cut the top of the mask off.
Yeah.
It looked ridiculous.
But there was some we were supposed to talk about too tonight, Matt. I believe we were going to talk about Wicked.
Oh God, do we have?
No. Do we have to?
I put it in the title so we wouldn't have to talk about it. Wicked.
I mean,
2,
I'll say
Wicked
this: my girl likes
sucks.
it.
I mean, we can talk about how bad the interviews and the promotion for the movie is.
I haven't watched any of that shit, and I don't fucking care. I will say the movie sucks. It's awful. I did not pay for it, by the way. Anybody asking, why would you go see that movie? I didn't go see the movie.
Your wife took you?
I watched it on the website online where it's there for fucking free, just out of sheer morbid curiosity. That's why I watched it. Me and my wife both watched it. We both agreed it's fucking awful.
Do you sit in the passenger seat and let your wife drive?
Fuck no. No, my wife doesn't drive. Like, she drives, but not when I'm in the car.
As a man should. Good job. That is the correct answer for any of you out there who letting your wife drive right now. Duke, looking at you.
Fucking calling Dukes out.
He's being awfully quiet over there.
Fucking Duke. Let your wife drive. What happened to your balls, man?
We could just probably, all of us here, if we don't care about MC movie, we can literally just go online and look up spoilers of what happened or clips on the internet, because they'll be there, and we don't even have to waste money to go to the theater to see the movie. We don't even have to anymore these days with the internet. So really, there's no point we have to watch all this MCU stuff if we want to get to Secret Wars.
Well, I watched pretty funny anime. I liked it. Their series, Mashal, Magic and Muscles. It's kind of like Saitama. If Saitama was in a magic, like Harry Potter setting, and
okay, I know who Saitama is and everything.
He has no magic. He's just super brawny.
Okay. Well, yeah,
bicep magic.
I also, because it's in the title too, I watched Moana 2.
Oh boy,
I'm sorry.
How was that?
I like the first Moana movie. It's a good movie. There's a lot of Disney movies that are good. I still like watching Disney movies. I got kids. I still watch a lot of Disney movies. But I won't say it sucks. I know I put that in the title. I won't say it sucks. It's just very uninteresting. Like the first movie was good. Like I genuinely liked the first Moana movie. The second one was just, I don't know. You know what it felt like? And we were just talking about this the other night. It felt like it should have been like back in the 90s, a straight to home video sequel.
Yep.
That's what it felt like.
You should change your title, go back and edit it, and put "Wicked Sucks" and "Moana Rules."
No,
that should be the title right there.
No, but yeah, no, it was okay, but it was just again, I would compare it to like the straight to fucking video shit that was everywhere in the 90s. That's what it was. That's where it's at, and it's certainly not worth fucking paying to go see. But you don't have to because it's on in HD on the website.
Yep.
How fuck it's in HD on the website and it on the same weekend it came out? I don't know, but it is, and that's why I watched it.
It's pretty pointless. It now feels with that out, Moana 2, it feels kind of pointless for him to do a live action version. Have y'all seen the pictures of Dwayne with the tattoos all over him and the skirt thing? The wig.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing a live action version.
I showed it to my wife. I showed it to my wife, and she's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, that's the Rock. They're doing a live action version of the movie." She's like, "Why?"
Yeah,
like I have no idea. Just to make money, but the live action movie is gonna fail. It's gonna bomb. Probably not. I don't think it'll. Well, since Disney, I don't think it's gonna bomb as bad as Red One has, but it will flop.
In the private chat, I put a link to where I've been watching anime. It's like the website, but for anime.
Okay. Yeah, it's called meatspin.com.
Yep.
Yeah,
everybody should go check out.
It's also where I get all my barbecue stuff. It's great for barbecue
there's
stuff.
a lot of cool stuff. I mean, they not only do they sell lots of really cool stuff there, but you can watch free movies there in HD, like the weekend that they come out. It's awesome. Everybody should go check out meatspin.com.
Damn, you smoking weed over there, bro? Why are you coughing so much?
No, I've got a dry spot in my throat that I've had for a few days.
Well, it's a good thing you don't smoke weed then. Jesus.
I don't smoke. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a clean freak.
It's like when you're smoking a cigarette and the guy comes up to you.
No,
you're coughing. You keep coughing. It's like, goddamn good thing you don't smoke, man. Like these things will kill you.
I've had this dry spot in my throat for a few days. I took cough drops and everything, and it's still there. Like it won't go away. So I keep on coughing and try not to cough.
Tried liquor?
That's probably cancer.
I'm not drinking. No.
I didn't say anything about drinking.
You said try liquor. I don't want liquor.
I said, did you try liquor?
No.
Liquor. I hardly know her.
There you go.
See, the question is what kind of liquor? Some tequila.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Did you try liquor?
Get y'all's heads out of the gutter.
Huh?
They never come out of the gutter.
As long as she doesn't eat the worm.
I was born in the gutter. I didn't see the outside of the gutter till I was a full grown man.
Is there anything we need to talk about tonight, Mr. Matt?
No, there's nothing we need to talk about. In fact, I don't know why people are watching this show right now.
Oh, that dry spot in your throat part was pretty interesting. We should talk more about that.
How about let's talk about parent issues again and stuff like that.
We should talk about everybody's dry spots and their inability to see certain colors. That's what this.
Bro, I'm freaked out by it. Like I don't know if I can become a pilot now. Like I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
The sky is blue.
I probably have like fucking superpowers that I don't know about since I have this like dead. Like that's the way it works, right? If you have like some weakness, it means you have some like power. So I just got to find out what the power is now. I know what the weakness is.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
It's like Superman, but then kryptonite. I found my kryptonite.
I'm going to give James Gunn props that we do not know much about the Superman movie.
I feel like we already know too much about the Superman movie with Ultraman.
Other than the leaks
and the kaiju and all this stuff, we got a lot of leaks from movies.
We got enough leaks, but not enough.
The reason why, like all the other heroes, suits look stupid because they're working for Maxwell Lord. We all know that. There's been a lot of leaks.
I like the version with the mild-mannered medic named Kyle. I like that.
But we don't. But in terms of leaks, we don't really know like the whole actual plot. Like
there is a Green Lantern named Kyle.
There is.
But I'm saying like we don't really know like what is the actual plot of the film. What is
Superman in it? and he flies around. He's from another planet.
Well, we got that, but I
fighting
mean,
fucking
He grew up in
kaiju.
Kansas.
yeah, we got the actual. We know the base version of Superman, but we don't know what this version of Superman's story is.
Well, he grew up in Kansas.
Yeah, well, still though, like the villains, who's the main bad guy, and what's the story?
Ultraman.
That he's a good guy, and Lex Luthor is a pedophile.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
What was that other dude's name? The guy with the skateboard.
Oh no!
The dude who got his arm blown
Man
off.
comes out and smacks one for skateboarding.
Well, there was a skateboard man, but then who was the guy who got his arm blown off? What was that dude's name?
That was
The person I could think of his arm getting blown off. A person I could think of his arm getting blown off is Jack Black in the Jackal. Anybody ever seen that movie with Bruce Willis?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you
Yeah,
said
we're not fetuses, so we've
it's
seen
one.
movies before.
It's one of my favorite movies. One of my guilty pleasures.
That's not a guilty pleasure movie. It's actually a good movie.
It's a good movie, but I've heard a lot of people say that it's bad and then it drags on. It's too long of a film and all that.
My problem is I've learned too much about everyone's politics, and I just hate everybody now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
The
kind of
less I know about an actor's politics, the better.
Honestly, that's the way it seems because they all have the wrong fucking politics.
It's kind of on you if you ever assumed that anybody in Hollywood had politics that you would agree with.
There are a few. Like the Tim Allens of the world or whoever.
Well, yeah, but they're very few and far between.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's another one.
Well, I mean, the juice thing kind of gets me with him.
Yeah, but
he really doesn't like apple juice.
He hates apple juice.
I mean, I'm not a big. I mean, I'll admit here, I don't drink apple juice or like it that much.
He's not.
Those Jerusalem apples really get to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he hates
the apple juice.
I'm gonna call me a pack of wolves.
But and that really is also what blew Kamala's campaign. And I'll try to keep it brief on political because she hates
the juice.
Yeah, she kept on getting big name celebrities, gave them a bunch of money from her campaign to have them come on there and support her. When we know Hollywood is fake, everybody who talks about politics, everybody is all phonies. It's like the
Dude, everything's phony. Science is phonies. Like the news is phony. History's phony. Fucking weather predictions are phony. Everything's fucking phony.
Yeah. Someone actually made this comment. I saw the video. It was on the same video I watched about Captain America before, but they're like, someone made this comment that the mainstream media is dying out, and now podcasters are the future of news outlets, like Joe Rogan and
Well, yeah, they have been for a while.
Yeah.
They're just finally acknowledging it.
Well, because I think they realized at least this time that the power that they thought they had, that they were flexing, didn't get the job done like they thought it should, and that's hilarious to me. That makes me laugh.
Well, they're out of touch. They're not as bright as you thought they are, even for Hollywood and government officials.
But yeah.
So what else, guys? What else we got to talk about today?
There's only one return, and it's of the Jedi, not of the King.
Oh, where's Duke?
Sorry, I don't mean to be a political one here, but
Duke's gonna get mad at you.
True.
Why?
Duke.
Wait, you're saying Return of the Jedi over the Return of the King?
Yeah.
Yes.
With the sword from Return of the King behind you on the wall.
See, that's a hard one for me.
That's not the Return of the King sword. That's prior to Return of the King.
It's the same sword.
It's the prior to being reforged,
which they then reforged into the sword from that. movie. So you have the sword from that movie on the wall.
Yes.
Not exactly, but yes, you do.
Lawful is asking. Lawful's actually asking who are all these new faces in the tonight?
Just a bunch of retards.
That's our fucking word. God damn it.
Are we gonna? We should make that a song, like a theme song. Retard. Everyone's a retard.
It'd be funnier if there was a T-shirt that just said "That's our word."
You should. I mean, anybody can make T-shirts these days and sell them. I mean, come
That's
on
our
now.
word. Get it? That's our word. Double meaning. I think it's clever.
I didn't know you were a pirate.
No, I'm good at clever shit though. Sometimes I'm fucking retarded, and I can say that word.
Because you are.
You've
I've
got
claimed it.
question for you, Matt. It's from the engine guy.
Any update on the motorcycle? Be responsible and don't drive it without tags like people from Ohio. Do they fucking do that in Ohio? Drive
They
shit
can't do
without
that in
tags?
Ohio. Ohio's not real.
No, that's Iowa.
Oh, there's two
Iowa's
states that
not
aren't real?
Yeah.
I've been to
Yeah.
Ohio, and Ohio's not real, so.
I feel like Ohio's like got some really, really gross parts in it. I've never been there. I just know what I've heard from people, and they're like the reports are all bad. You know.
You know Ohio's not real because they've got 3 major cities. What state needs 3 major cities?
My state got 3 major cities.
Yeah, California's gargantuan though.
My state's
Yeah,
got more than 3 major cities.
there's a size difference there.
New York City. New York City is one. That's one major city. New York. And then
New York's not in Ohio.
Yeah.
They are geographically isolated from each other.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas has a bunch of big ass cities.
Yeah, we've
Yeah, but
got
Texas
1, 2,
is
3.
also the
We got
size of Texas,
5
so.
major cities.
But you can also drive 18 hours in one direction, and
That's
Texas
true.
is still be in
fucking
Texas.
never get through.
Texas should probably just be its own fucking country, bro. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Let just
It already is.
Led just summed it up. He said that everything is run by Democrats. I think he's talking about.
Movie studios.
Yeah,
Why does everyone get so offended that I rode my motorcycle without tags for like lawfully armed? Like really doesn't like that.
I don't like the government telling me when I can and can't ride. So
I mean, I rode the Kawasaki for a year and I never got the tags done, and then sold it.
I mean,
is that an insurance thing? I don't know. I don't know if it's like the same with a car.
Insurance on bikes don't cost shit.
I drive.
And registration for a bike doesn't cost that much. It's more of just like a pain in the ass to get it all done. And if you're gonna make it so that I can do it without getting it done, because like there's just real crime going on, and you don't care about some dude riding around on a motorcycle with like fucking the wrong plate on it or something, you know, then I'm gonna do it because like I don't want to go through the pain in the ass. That's all it is.
Honda found a blue relit post on X.
Oh, you found out what my disease is?
No, I found something else. It's not about your disease.
It's cancer, isn't it?
Yeah. I just found like Japan sprays their looters and riders with blue dye so they can find
Wait, what did they do to my eyes?
They sprayed them with dye.
They sprayed my eyes with dye?
Yeah.
It's in the fluoride.
Oh, that's obviously what it is. I mean, if you're gonna fucking guess what it is, it's definitely the atrazine in the water turning my fucking eyes gay for blue.
it's also the chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. So,
well, that's the name of my chat. So you just guessed it.
But by the way, Matt, I want to say I do have a Kit Bash figure, or at least a modification that I'm getting done this weekend. So you'll be seeing it Friday. So I will have some.
Better.
Your condition is called a blue-yellow color deficiency.
He had to order that 12-inch fucking black cock off Amazon that you can buy. You know, like the big dildo.
You know what that reminds me of? Something I was going to show you guys
what he was doing
on this fucking show like weeks ago, and I fucking
now I don't know if I
forgot
want to see
about
it.
it.
What is it, Matt?
Yeah, no, I got to show you guys this. I got to pull it up. Hold on, it's taking me a minute to find it. I saw this on fucking eBay, and I don't remember this when I was a kid. Like, I don't fucking remember this ever being a thing. But,
Craigslist dildos?
Pretty goddamn close. You ain't far off. Let me find it here. Give me a second.
Lightly used sex fucking toys? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
It damn near could be. I don't know. But fuck, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Ribbed for his pleasure?
Yeah, it is. Hold on. It takes me a minute. I could fucking find
Think
this
about
shit.
that one for a second.
You just gotta go diving for that G spot.
Yeah. Let's just admit it. Honda is everyone's.
It is like the world's most expensive fucking dildo, I think. I don't fucking know. Let me find this shit. And I thought it was a fucking joke. Like, I swear to God, I thought this was a joke. And then I looked it up, and this was fucking a real thing from when we were fucking kids. This was a real thing that existed. And I don't know how the fuck they got away with making this.
How much are we talking here? Most expensive?
This was a child's toy.
Are you talking about? I remember one child's toy that got banned, and it was from the.
This one never fucking got banned, dude.
No, it was.
Shut up. This thing right here, the Dune Sandworm.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Now, this was a real fucking toy, apparently. I don't remember this fucking thing, but it came out after that fucking Dune movie in 1984.
I don't think kids bought that. I think their mothers did.
I
Where
think
is
so
the
too.
mouth? Isn't it supposed to have a giant fucking toothed mouth?
That's
Circular?
what that part is up there, I think. But I think
That just looks like the head.
It looks like they forgot the teeth.
They did because they didn't
left
want
the tongue.
the mothers getting fucking jacked up. But look, here's what it fucking looks like out of the box.
Oh, there's the mouth. Okay.
Is it
Tell
motor-
me that
Half
is
a curve to it.
You fucking are gonna have to do a lot of convincing to tell me that was meant to be a fucking kid's toy.
Is it motorized?
And this is like legit. This is from fucking LJN. Like this isn't fake or anything. Like this was a real fucking 80s toy that they fucking sold to children.
Yeah, without the teeth on there, the mothers definitely bought this for their personal collection.
Well, that's not how they open their mouths for real
Yeah, it
in the
was.
movie.
In the 84 movie it was, yeah. That's how they open their mouths in the 84 movie.
See, I've got the popcorn bucket from Dune 2, so that would go well with this.
Yeah, you
Sandworm.
can insert this into that. I saw this thing, like it just randomly, like as I was scrolling through some shit on fucking eBay, and I was like, "Is that a dildo?" And I clicked on it, and I was like, "Dune Sandworm."
Sure enough.
I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "That." I bet you that's a sex toy. That, you know how sometimes they'll fucking, like, these companies will do like sex toy shit and name it something from like a fucking movie or franchise. You know, I'm sure there's like a lightsaber dildo out there or something. I thought that's what it was till I looked at it and it said LJN Toys, and I was like, wait, that's a real toy company from the 80s. So I started looking at the package, and then I fucking went on online and looked it up. And look, it's got the Toys R Us fucking sticker on it. This thing originally sold for $5.97.
All right, we got 54 people watching right now. How many of them are looking up lightsaber dildo at this moment? Do you
Every fucking one of them, because y'all are all a bunch of fucking perverts.
But apparently a vintage dildo toy is worth $420.
Woo!
Good God. Anyway,
I mean, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
That's also.
I mean,
no, but I was thinking like
Here's a pineapple.
I was thinking like band toys, like
Checkmate.
The animated Tarzan movie Jack Off toy that came out with the Jack Off feature, and then you had the Punisher with the missile crotch, with the crotch missile. Like those are the kind of toys I was thinking of.
I don't know, man. This thing threw me off when I saw it. But it's real, people. And I guess if you're perverted enough, you can too. You too can own this for $400 some fucking dollars or some shit.
Remember that girl in Discord that time that claimed to fuck a deagle?
Yes. Wait, who? Yes, I do vaguely remember this.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'm turned on by my deagle. I like to put it inside me and rub it on my."
Who was
clit."
that?
I don't remember. It was some fucking weird internet fucking woman. Some weird
I
person.
do
bro.
remember that.
And we
I
made
do
fun of
remember
her, and then she never came
Yeah.
back, or talked about her deagle ever again.
Yeah, who the
Probably
fuck
changed her
was
name
it?
if she did.
Yes, wasn't she on my Discord?
Yes, it was a Discord voice chat. We were just hanging out there playing video games one night, and this chick comes in and she's like, "I fuck my deagle" for some reason. I don't remember. Like we didn't even like prod her about anything. She was just like volunteered this information, like we wanted to know it.
That's wild.
Yes, I do remember
Yeah, it
this.
was
I don't
wild.
remember who that person was.
Made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you this, Matt, while we were here tonight, since we were talking about movies. What is your since you're a big Superman fan, what would you have done differently to Superman Returns? Like, what would you have done differently?
Superman Returns? Fucking everything?
You would have made him okay. I got it. Instead of from Kansas, he would have been from Kenosha.
You already made this joke.
Go on. I know. I'm kidding. That's why I'm done.
What
now.
would I have done? I would have made a completely different fucking movie. I would. That movie was awful all the way around.
The only good thing about Superman Returns was Brandon Routh.
Yeah, Brandon Routh was great. He was a great choice to play Superman. Too bad it was in a shitty fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from the way the character was written, the Lois wasn't the worst Lois that we've had. I mean,
Well, she was close, but no, she wasn't the worst one.
She's not the worst, but she was definitely close. She was definitely the second worst Lois because she really could not bring any emotion to her face whatsoever at all. She was like stone
But-
faced all the time.
just about any Lois is better than Amy Adams. So
That's true. Amy Adams
Yeah.
was fucking awful.
Because Amy Adams didn't even bother to change her hair color. She kept it red. Didn't
I
bother.
doubt that was her decision to make, but you know,
Well, yeah. I mean,
Lewis Lane wasn't the one for me.
Zack Snyder's got a thing for redheads, I guess. So
I do too, but not that one.
I think she would have made a better old school Lana Lang.
yes, Lana Lang.
Erica Durant is the best Lois we've had in live action, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Matt, have you watched the Superman Lois show?
Yes, I've watched all of it. I'm waiting for the season finale or series finale on Tuesday.
Because we never talked about that. We've never talked about it. That's why.
Yeah,
I grew up watching Lois and Clark. Terry Hatcher was pretty hot back then.
Terry Hatcher was a phenomenal Lois Lane. She was like the most exaggerated personality traits of Lois Lane. But she did a great job. They did a great job with her. She's
And
probably
Dean Cain's suit was probably one of the best live action suits too.
Yeah. I think Erica Durance was good, but I think Terry Hatcher was better as Lois Lane. She was a bit exaggerated as far as like the star reporter, but that's how she acted in the fucking comics.
Yeah. The set. It's kind of sad that Dean Cain doesn't get a lot of recognition for his take on Superman.
Dude, that show was
that's
great.
for political reasons.
Hey, I watched the whole show. I personally love it.
Yeah,
But
it's a fucking great show.
It just sucks that mainstream media don't really give him enough props on his take on Superman. They always overlook him with, Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, and everybody else. And I get it because he did a television show, not an actual full-length feature film. I get that. But if you do the character justice, you should get recognition for your performance and for how you did to the character.
We currently have one of the best live action Superman that we've ever had with Tyler Hoechlin. If his suit would be perfect if it wasn't so padded. It is so obviously enormously padded.
He's in really good shape. I don't know why they need to pad it so much.
Yeah, why they add so much caulking?
Because I see why. Because they're like, oh, we want to make him look bigger, like actual.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why. Because they're like, oh, you might be you might be.
But they didn't do that when he was in the original CW show, like when he was part of the Arrowverse.
Yes.
His suit then wasn't super padded. He was just good shape. They didn't need to do that.
The suit, though, in that
is my biggest complaint about the Superman Lois show is the suit looks ridiculous with all that padding.
And I hate too how they darkened up his colors. Like you look at his colors in the first episode, how they were bright red, good blue, good saturation of blue and yellow, and yet now you look at this season and his colors have completely gotten dark.
Well, that's by design because they can't use the black and silver regeneration suit because they already used that for a bad guy in the crossover.
They used it.
This is like his dark regeneration after death suit.
Yeah, they used it for Elseworlds when that guy used the Book of Destiny and or something and changed his appearance to be the Superman of the universe. So yeah, they did use that. But
I'm glad they darkened his suit because now I can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it that it's coming to an end because I stated that this show should continue until we get to Superman the movie. And I get why they want to end it because they want to, not have two Supermans at the same time on two different screens. But really they should keep it because you're like, okay, we have a Main Street Superman.
He's already planned out. James Gunn said every version is going to be played by the same actors. Even the animated movies are going to be voiced by the live action actors,
except for Batman.
The Twilight sprinkles.
Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson. Yeah,
Batman's the best superhero.
He's
no,
superhero.
He's not
Batman doesn't have any superpowers. He's not a superhero.
Superman's the better superhero. Me and Matt will agree on that wholeheartedly. Superman's a better superhero than Batman.
Batman's an awful superhero.
Yeah.
He's just
Batman could kill Superman if Batman wanted to. Batman chooses not to kill Superman.
But Batman has to cheat.
Same goes the other way around.
Batman,
Superman could flick Batman to death and it'd be over in half a second.
Batman has to cheat to
but no one else can kill Superman. Only Batman can kill Superman.
Doomsday
by cheating. By cheating. In a one-on-one fist fight, Superman would kill him in an instant, but he has to.
How did he cheat?
He uses kryptonite. Superman's one.
It's not cheating. It's using equipment.
Yeah, but he also makes a mech suit to give him extra strength. And
that's not cheating. That's using what's available to him.
It's cheating.
It's not cheating.
It's cheating.
Well, you can say Superman's powers is cheating.
Look. Let's get something straight. Batman's ability to know like every fucking criminal in the entire DC universe that kryptonite is Superman's one weakness is, first of all, not cheating, and second, not the reason why he's the shittiest superhero. Okay.
No, I'm not making that. I'm not making that as the
Batman wins in every scenario. Name the scenario. Batman planned for it. He has a way out, and he would win.
Bane.
Batman wins.
Catwoman left him at the altar.
He lost to Bane.
How about, I don't know, saving his parents?
Yeah.
How about having a mother named Martha? Okay.
It's like
you didn't plan for that.
How about I don't know, not letting Robin die?
Like
no,
if
not that one either.
If he was really prepared for everything,
you could say not killing the Joker.
Yeah, if he
not letting Alfred die.
Yeah, if he's really prepared for everything, then nobody.
How come Alfred's dead then? If he's prepared,
if he was prepared for everything, nobody would die at all.
He was prepared for the fact that Alfred was going to die, so he was okay.
Well, Batman's a terrible character. You can write him in a lazy way and say, "Oh, he was prepared for this character, this character, this character." Like
I don't think Batman's a terrible character. I just think he's a terrible superhero.
He's the best superhero.
He has had.
He has no powers. He can't be a superhero.
Yeah, that's why he's the best.
Superpowers.
Because he's so fucking badass.
I mean, he's super fixated.
Awesomeness and his money and his technology and his fighting skills to fucking beat everybody at everything all the time, including fucking whoever you're gonna say next. That's right, even Bane.
Chuck Norris,
fucking maybe.
Chuck Norris would kill Batman even if he's prepared. Chuck Norris would pull that.
Dude, Punisher would kill Batman. Come on.
Chuck Norris would pull that third fist.
Well, that's universal crossover. You can't do that. That's not fair.
But Chuck Norris. Okay. Two ways.
I can win this argument.
Okay, even if Batman takes down Chuck Norris would still win with that third fist that he hides underneath his beard.
And if Chuck Norris can beat him, then we all know that means Bruce Lee can beat him.
I've met Chuck Norris. I've met him, and
fought him.
No, I haven't fought him. I don't want to fight him.
Did he give you a boner?
No.
Chuck Norris gives everyone a boner.
I did get this. This
You do
picture.
get magical wood in his presence.
This was autographed by him.
Now I doubt if you've met him.
No, I met him. Try to get this down.
Do you have the certificate of authenticity?
I have his autograph.
But no certificate. It's not real.
Is that you in the hat there? Who is that?
What?
Is that you in the hat next to him?
No. No.
Matt, I sent you a picture about Batman versus
No,
Superman.
on
Superman.
no, at the convention, he had him and his wife Gina. They made multiple pictures of him, and they even had it from set photos from the Expendables too, for the Expendables movie he was in. And I just picked up this one because it was a picture of him and Stallone.
Okay. I have a serious nerd question.
Uh-huh.
Right. So you got DC Marvel, right?
Yes.
You got fucking Batman. You got Iron Man, right?
Uh-huh.
Also, you've got Lex Luthor, and you've got Doctor Doom, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who would win in a fight between Batman and Iron Man, and who would win in a fight between Doctor Doom and Lex Luthor?
Iron Man would fucking destroy Batman because Iron Man's not
Batman
afraid
planned
to fucking
for it. He already knew all of Iron Man's weaknesses, and he knew a way through it. So you're wrong. Batman wins. Sorry, next.
Recently, in the comics, has recently come out. Tony now has a hologram armor that protects him.
It doesn't matter. Iron Man doesn't have a problem killing people.
No, and he could put one.
Batman does. Oh, I can't kill anybody. Otherwise, I'll be as bad as them.
And
he'll have like a fucking Iron Man net that'll throw out.
I mean, remember, Batman's always the person to figure out an idea. So all he has to do is get him out of that suit.
Iron Man, all he has to do is take one of his armors, like he did Archer's Killian, put the armor on him and explode it, and Batman's dead in seconds.
But on the real, I would say Batman wins that one, but Doctor Doom wins the other one.
Doctor Doom would destroy Lex Luthor because he knows magic, he knows science.
See, Leo Red's on Leo.
See,
Why did I call you Leo? I called you fucking Leo, Shot Red. I'm sorry.
The question with Lex Luthor is a what they call it, the 12th level intellect. He's like, I don't know. He might. They're both intelligent, so I don't know who would be playing who. They would both be thinking they were playing the other one the entire time.
Doctor Doom would beat Lex Luthor, though.
Ain't a straight up like fist fight, but I think Lex Luthor would have Doctor Doom
like
working
Lex
for him.
Luthor, right? There's like regular old, like just smart evil genius.
Are
Lex
we talking
Luthor.
about regular Lex Luthor?
But then there's also Lex Luthor that's got the fucking suit and the powers, and he's like merged with what's it called?
Now, if we're talking about comic book versions of
Right.
Lex and Doctor Doom, it could go either way.
Yeah, are we talking about
Lex fights Superman.
Are we talking about
He can build suits that can go toe to toe with the Kryptonian.
Are we talking about Lex Luthor? Hold on. Are we talking about Lex Luthor, who's just the crazy billionaire, the crazy?
Did you not just listen to what I just said? If we're talking about comic book Lex Luthor,
you're not letting
post crisis.
I was asking, are we talking about Lex Luthor before or after Kryptonite steroid boost?
I'm not talking about a Kryptonite steroid boost. I'm not talking about a one-off Public Enemy storyline. I'm talking about the comic book version of Lex Luthor, not from a Justice League Unlimited. I'm talking about from the comics.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about when he has the suit and all that, because he can hold his own in it. I still go with
He's gone
Doom,
toe to toe with gods, with his intellect and his technology.
Dr. Doom's practically a god now.
Doctor Doom recreated the entire multiverse.
Dr. Doom is literally a god. And
my whole thing is Doctor Doom is very crafty enough.
I'm not talking about modern, stupid
I'm not talking about
Marvel Comics Doctor Doom.
I'm saying
with
if you take,
rebooting, making God Doom.
Now
I'm talking about regular Doctor Doom that was been around forever until they rebooted the Marvel Universe.
I will say this to counter your point, Jared. Lex Luthor could be Doctor Doom if we take like
how are you going to counter a point? I didn't say
who's
going to win or not. I didn't make a point. I just said
I'll make
it go either way. How is me saying it going either way? How are you going to counter that?
Hold on. I will say this: Lex Luthor could be Doctor Doom if he basically goes like Batman and does prep time.
You guys should fist fight and see who wins.
We've already decided Lex Luthor is a pedophile, and pedophiles never win. End of story.
Yeah.
Wait, how did we decide Lex Luthor was a pedophile? Oh, that's right.
Well, if you're going to go that route,
fucking
Dr.
circle.
Doom's the same way. He's like, if he's got prep time, he can beat anybody.
Well, we also have Kevin Spacey
Kyle-
having played Lex Luthor, so double
Even more proof he's
pedophile.
a pedophile
Oh.
and a sexual assaulter.
You also had
Dude, I just thought of it too. Like
You haven't
his
had a
name's
decent
Kyle,
live action
right?
Dr.
Wait,
Doom yet either.
wait, hold on. His name's Kyle, right? Kal-El. Come on. Seriously, it's Kal-El. It's Kyle. They just misheard it when the fucking ship crashed.
I mean, your logic is undeniable.
And Batman would win.
No.
Well, you just said my logic is undeniable. By my logic, Batman would always win.
Then your logic is severely fallible.
Darth is asking, why is Batman not a good superhero? What's your case?
Okay.
Because
All right.
This is
hold
the
on.
last thing, and then we're shutting this shit down. Batman is not a good superhero. First of all, he's not a superhero because he's not super in any way, shape, or form. A. B. Batman doesn't create any of his own shit, unlike, let's say, Tony Stark. He buys his shit. Okay, that's B. And the most powerful point is Batman is a fucking psychopath who, if you actually look and you like into the psychology of Batman and Bruce Wayne,
Go on.
right? He essentially is a fucking serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's a serial killer who doesn't actually kill anyone himself. He holds himself to this moral standard only so that he can call himself a hero, while blatantly over and over and over again for decades doing things that he knows will result in other people actually continuing to do bad things. Because he is so fucking psychotic and mental and fucked up from his childhood that he thought dressing up like a goddamn bat and spending billions of dollars on a fucking cave and cars to prop up his own fucking psychotic ego so that he can go out and instead of actually stopping bad guys who are actually out there mass murdering people the way Punisher would, which is just fucking put them down, he fucking keeps locking them up knowing they'll fucking get out so that he has a reason to continue to exist and dress as a goddamn bat and spend billions. If he really wanted to make Gotham safer, he could spend that billions in way more fucking useful ways. But he's more obsessed with his fucking ego and being able to run around rooftops dressed like a goddamn bat because he's fucking psychotic than he is actually stopping any crime.
Well,
If
Matt,
you'll notice,
Matt,
Gotham only gets worse
That's-
throughout the comic book history. It just
that
gets fucking
is-
worse and worse and worse.
that is the only way. That's the only way that he can come. I'm sorry.
It is the only way that he can.
Well, Matt, you know, people
Gotham-
gonna argue then that means Punisher's not a superhero. Then
Sid for Life's
No,
guys.
Punisher's not a superhero.
Sid for Life's guys.
Punisher's an
Punisher even-
anti-hero. Punisher's not even a hero, really.
yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
Punisher just does what needs to be done, and he doesn't give a shit how bad he looks or what laws he has to break or how much he has to not be heroic to do the things he needs to do, as long as the end result that other bad guys worse than him are stopped.
Well,
Yeah.
Punisher never claims to be a hero. He knows
No.
he's not a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, Sid for Life?
Oh, I was just gonna say Gotham may have gotten worse continuously, but there was that one brief stint in the '60s where everything was groovy.
Yeah.
That's true.
True.
That's true.
Kennedy era, right?
So it's the one time when Gotham was brighter than Metropolis. So
I'll tell you one Batman story that always makes me chuckle, but is interesting. It's a story not many people probably know about, but it's a story where Alfred basically is explaining that he is the cause of the Joker, where he basically dresses up as a Joker. He gets all of his friends and associates to dress up as the other villains so Bruce can be happy playing a vigilante and locking him up. And you can actually Google that story. You can actually go in there and find it. But it's short.
It's an alternate story.
It is, but I like it as an idea. Like, okay, so
it still makes way more sense than fucking Bruce Wayne as a goddamn superhero.
It does. Like, Alfred doesn't like doing it, but he likes to help feed Bruce's ego of being a superhero. And
the best Batman is Dick Grayson, so.
And you actually see what happens.
Hey, I like John Paul Valley before he went.
Yeah, fucking John Paul Valley was like the fucking Punisher in a bat suit.
Yeah,
he was getting shit done.
That's one of my biggest complaints about the '90s when he was Batman. His run as Batman was too short. They should have his descent in the madness be longer. And just let him just beat the shit out of the Gotham villains. He would have took them out. He was beating people with a piece of wood with nails in it.
As one does.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight. We are done with this edition of fucked up ass retarded geek chat. Whatever the shit we were talking about.
That is our
tonight.
fucking word. Go.
You're supposed to. You should end it by saying that's it for tonight's Geek Out. Geek Out is what you should say.
That sounds gay. I don't want to say that.
Oh, it sounds retarded.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the hell out of here. We will see you guys. Let's see. We'll be on the NEA channel on Monday and then back for more geek shit on Friday. And yeah, that's it. We're getting out of here. Y'all have fun. Enjoy your fucking weekend or some shit. I don't know. Is Duke even still here?
I think he's asleep.
He made no comment when I dissed Lord of the Rings, so I don't think he's here.
He's asleep.
He fell asleep. Oh, God! There we go. All right, we'll see y'all guys later. Take it easy. Have fun. Get the fuck out of here. Go do something else. I don't know what. Figure it out, people.